going to the bathroom. That thing's loading. I'm drinking extra water because I have a little bit of a hangover. But I always drink a lot of water. Unlike my wife, who drinks like 1 glass per week. I was drinking yesterday because it was about time. It had been a while since I was drinking, so. And also, I had a very irritating week at work, so. But I wanted to smoke cigarettes. I did not smoke cigarettes, so that's pretty good. But maybe I should have because WGAF. Anyways. The baby. I'm trying to rescue these fajita steak because I put the taco seasoning on the fajita steak and it made it way too salty and gross and weird. So today I am rinsing the taco seasoning out of it and drain it, and then I'm gonna fry it, and hopefully it's not so salty as it was yesterday. They get all the water out of it. But I'll just cook the water out and then put butter in. Hello, thanks for watching Not a Trucking Channel. This is not a trucking channel. We're doing my book reveal of this new book that I just wrote. I've been working on this book for longer than my daughter has been outside of the womb. I wrote it in a month, but it takes, what, like 14 or 15 months to edit the thing. It's ridiculous. So anyways, I edited it and shoved it through the publisher, and so we're unboxing it. I don't know if it's this box or the other box because I got some copies of older previous releases. This is not a previous release, so we're not talking about those. We're doing the new one. This is the new one. Padow. It's called The Rapture of Corruption. I'm excited about this book. Yeah, I'm excited about this book because, one, I got the sweet AI graphics on the front. I've always wanted an illustrator, but it's like, no, there's no illustrator. So I always just put like some goofy picture that's not even very good on the cover of my books because I really don't care about the cover usually. But ever since artificial intelligence started drawing pictures, check, now I got a sweet picture, which is pretty cool. And I got one on the back too, which doesn't really fit the story, but it fits the book cover design. So it's good enough. And like this truck, the truck in the book is like black. You know, there's two. The old one is black like this, but the new one is black like Tupperware truck. So it's not exact. And then this guy, like this nun is Filipino, and then this guy, he looks Filipino. Hey, quiet down back there. Anyway, so this guy looks Filipino also, but he's supposed to be half American, half Japanese. But what are you going to do? And then also new for this book is the first time that I got, there's a couple of things that I knew about this. I made up fake legal nonsense because all the super official novels have a bunch of legal nonsense in the front, and my books never had any legal nonsense in the front, and I always felt like they were like inferior because I didn't have a bunch of legal nonsense. So I made some legal. I'm pretty excited about this. Maybe it sounds kind of stupid, but to me it's a big deal. And the other thing about this book was I made the font smaller because I felt like in the other books the font was bigger and there was not enough words on each line, which that might sound like a unimportant detail, but to me it made a big difference because like I couldn't tell, like, does this read correctly? And just even looking at this, I could see that this looks more like the way it's supposed to look. I'll show you the other book that I got, some copies of my other one. They make these boxes really difficult to open. Jesus. But I'll show, and these books, see, these other ones, like, they're all the same length because I make my books the same length a lot of the time, just because I like to do that. But like, look, this one's going to be fatter than this one because there's less words on each line and less words on each page. So this will look bigger, but they're both the same length. But I can see that, like, these words look like there's not enough words on this. I guess it's not as bad as it is in my imagination. In my imagination, it's worse. But I do think that these smaller letters are better. But if you make them too small, then it's impossible to read it. Not that anybody reads it anyways. But believe it or not, I'm actually pretty good at this, at doing these things. I only done it 100 times. You know, not 100, but 15. You know, it feels like 100. And I'm super excited about this one for the same reason I'm excited about this one, because there's nothing about it that feels wrong. And whenever I make a book that doesn't bother me for feeling wrong, then I know it's a good one. Like, if this one and this one, there's nothing wrong with either one of them. Bloodless Paradise is an awesome book, but it's kind of hard for a lot of people. It's a horror story from, you know, the serial killer's perspective, and it's hard for people to wrap their heads around that. They really don't like it. But I mean, like, there's some, like, all right, so like Natural Born Killers was a serial killer movie from the killer's perspective, awesome movie. And then what's the other one? Devil's Rejects is from the killer's perspective, awesome. So I don't know why they don't do it more often, because there's only like those are like the only 2 examples I could think of. Whatever. But anyways, this other book, I don't know what my wife is going on about. She's making sign language over there for some reason. Black Cat Sunrise, Bloodless Paradise. Like, this book has some problems, and it bothers me. They're not bad problems. You probably... All right, so we're using my phone, and I did not even record. I was just trying to finish this video, and I didn't even record what I was saying. So anyways, my wife's phone, which is apparently useless, has no storage. And so we're using my phone. I forgot to even say what this book is about. And in the video where I thought I was recording, but it was just talking to myself and nobody else, for, you know, because I forgot to push record or whatever, I started talking way too much about the book. And apparently it's, you know, when you write the blurb on the back, I've always had trouble with these blurbs, because I want to say so much about it. Because look, it's a book, it's a story, you know, and how do you put the whole story into the little blurb? It's kind of the problem I'm having with, you know, talking into the camera. But anyways, it's a Filipino nun, Japanese American truck driver. There's a cat who's like an angel. The nun is like also kind of an angel. And they're doing like missions from God to release the demons of hell, because the demons of hell are dormant and insidious, and they're dwelling within our society, civilization, reality, really. And so they're changing things, but they're kind of unleashing things, because they have to release the demons to fight the demons. It's this whole thing, but basically it's a kaiju story, alright? So if you're trying to wonder what this book is about, it's a kaiju story, and a daikaiju story at the end, because they get bigger. So in the beginning they're kaiju, and at the end they're daikaiju, because the monsters just keep growing, and they multiply, and the whole world is overrun by these monsters. But also there's kind of a rapture. So the rapture of corruption is a double entendre, because it's talking about how people are, you know, they love corruption. It's like, what do humans love more than corruption? It's taking a good thing and using it for yourself and screwing everybody else. It's like people's favorite thing to do. It's a double entendre. But the rapture is also, the corruption is disappearing, because that's what they're doing, is they're removing the corruption from the world. But it's kind of funny because when you break it down, without the corruption, we really don't even have a world. And so that's the rapture. So many things are just disappearing because without corruption, I mean, what is there, you know? Without evil, there is no good, so it's good to be evil, kind of thing. You know, that was Satan in South Park, but I mean, a lot of this has to do with Satan. So anyways, that's the end of this video. I'm just trying to say, this book is sweet, dude. I've been doing this a long time. I know how to write a good book at this point. I'm really happy with this one. This one came out just excellent. So, I mean, nobody else is going to tell you it's good because, I mean, who has read it? But there's like synchronicity though, because like even, you know, this book is about like demons that like when you kill them they multiply, and you kill that and they multiply, and you kill that and they multiply, and that's like the evil, it multiplies. And even just publishing this thing, you know, something went out into like the spirit world where I was watching Z Frank on YouTube. He was talking about jellyfish. He was like, here's this jellyfish and it's a clone jellyfish, and then that jellyfish makes clones, and then those clones make clones, and then it splits and splits and splits. And then Paul Enslaved was talking about Jack Talcott. If he was like dropping a seed that would open, and all the little Jack Talcott seeds would come out of the one seed, and then out of each one of those would make another seed that would spread and spread. And so like, you know, but I asked my friend about this, and he says it goes back to the Bible. He's like, when there was the plague of frogs, and they would try to hit the frog, and the frogs would just spread into more frogs and more frogs. But that's like a metaphor for evil, because it spreads, you know, and like you have like one evil and it just infects everything all around it. And so, you know, it's something to think about. It's food for thought, really. But that's not the point. The point is it's a monster story. It's about these dudes fighting monsters with machine guns, all right? So like, keep that in mind. Thanks for watching Not a Trucking Channel. This is not a trucking channel. I guess we're doing books now instead of lectures, but WGAF. Love you. Deuces. I have to go look under the hood of the tractor to see if it is low on coolant, which obviously I should have done yesterday when I was done working, but I was trying to get out of there. So I'm gonna go look under there now, see if it's low on coolant, because it shut me down on the interstate when I was like heading home. It went into engine shutdown mode, so I pull over, but then it turned out to be no problem, but it's flashing radiator symbol, and I thought I smelled coolant, but I always smell coolant, so I smell coolant right now in this truck. So I'm gonna go see if it's low, and if it's low, then I know the problem. If it's not low, then it's got some other problem. It used the whole bottle, so it was very low, so the leak must be very bad. They serviced it just 2 weeks ago. I bet the guy screwed something up in there. But yeah, because it took this whole, it's very bad leak, apparently.
What is our oil? We still have that vegetable oil, but I can't find it.
Up there.
Where?
There.
Where did you put it there? You think I can reach that?
Stand on it.
Baby! Want more? It's just meatballs. Wait, now break the Fritos.
Cheetos?
The Fritos.
I don't know.
Did you eat it?
Don't spoil your appetite.
No. May appetite. Where is it? It's gone. Did you eat it yesterday? Huh?
Huh?
Did you eat the fritters yesterday?
You're gonna have to disinfect this with this pork stuff all
Yeah.
over it.
What do you mean when they're disinfecting?
Side and the second one. I'm trying to not screw up the pork belly. The inside of the pan is way hotter than the outside of the pan, so they're not cooking evenly. So I'm trying to move them around on the pan so that they cook at the same rate. That part of the pan is hot. I don't think it's this. I need to do something about that. I'm getting distracted. You know, you're distracting me. I think I used too much soy sauce. It looks very like too much soy sauce involved here. But if I fluff it up like this, maybe it's not so bad.
Have you tried it? If it's too salty?
Well, it's covered in soy sauce. Soy sauce is salty. So. Sweet chili pork belly and bastardized chop suey.
That's our dinner for tonight.